M0FXB, welcome back to my Mazzy dog walks. Just a quick one tonight. So quite a few people message me that have purchased scanners, receivers and ham radios, and they'll say I've purchased it, I've connected the antenna that was in the box and I can't hear anything apart from broadcast stations like the BBC. And there's a very good reason for that, because I get it, you buy this very techie looking item, something like the SDS 200, and you know it costs a lot of money, some of these scanner receivers. You put it on the desk, you power it up, and you can't hear nothing. You can't hear nothing on the HF bands, you can't hear nothing, no ham radio people, you can't even hear CB. And actually CB, if you ask me, is one of the hardest things to hear if you're just trying to get FM CB from stations in and around where you live. And so you got what it is, and I know we've all made this assumption that by buying something we're going to suddenly hear all these things. I get messages about Tetra, encrypted, and can I hear the police and the fire brigade and all this kind of stuff. And then they're sat there with a little telescopic antenna that was in the box that's about the length of your arm, and they're wondering, they're inside this room and they're wondering why they can't hear anything. So the basic science is this: if you want to hear, say, airband, marine band, sort of VHF and UHF type signals, you either need to get outside with the aeroplanes flying over you, go and stand by the sea or hear the boats, get outside and pick up those stations, or put what I call it a collinear, but it's a white stick antenna, so 2 meters 77s. If you get like a discone antenna, it looks like a big spider, put that on your roof. Yeah, just put the word in discone antenna and that will cover many bands, and you'll be able to start picking stuff up. You'll be surprised. PMR, and in America GMRS. There's a lot of other stuff out there on these sort of pager frequencies that you can pick up and decode as well using software. But when it comes to HF, because I know some people that go out and they'll spend £300 on a vertical HF antenna, and it'll probably be about, I don't know, 5 meters long, and they've got all these coils in the base. But you cannot beat, yeah, a very long wire. You get a wire 120 foot long, put it back to your receiver, get it out in the open. It doesn't actually even need to be that high, and you're going to start picking up the HF bands, which propagate in a completely different way. VHF, UHF, it's line of sight. So just imagine a piece of string between you and the item, and obviously there's something in the way, it's going to affect it. And with 77s, which is a much smaller signal, it works better at getting through the gaps, through the buildings, or through the gaps around the buildings and bouncing off around the buildings. So that's why security guards and things like that tend to use 77s, and they've all gone, a lot of them have gone digital, because it just works better. Yeah, and that's it, it just does. I'm not saying analog doesn't work well, but you're going to get sort of that hashy sound and the signal's going to come and go. But HF's different. You've got this giant wave. Imagine this wave as big as your house, bigger than your house, bouncing upwards. And then when they talk about the ionosphere and the skip and the sunspot, depending on the time of day, where the sun is, where you are, blah blah blah, certain signals are going to come round to different parts of the planet. And you can look this up. There are charts that show you where it is at certain times. Yeah, so you've got this massive wave that, imagine like a big bubble. Imagine blowing up the biggest bubble you've ever blown, and it comes out of your mouth and it's wobbling around going up and then it bounces down and ends up being over America when you're in England. It's like that. There's so many things that affect it. So the bottom line is, get yourself a collinear, get an antenna on your roof for the first set of frequencies, VHF, UHF, short. But then when it comes to the HF bands, 3.5 megahertz, 7 megahertz, 14 megahertz, 18 megahertz, all 21. You need to get this giant thing. Now I agree that CB wise, 27 megahertz, a vertical, actually they do tend to work quite well. A vertical dedicated CB antenna will work well. So yeah, this is just my opinion. Let me know. But don't think that by spending money, if you can buy a handheld and spend £100 on a handheld rubber duck antenna, it's not going to make hardly any difference. Go stand on a hill, you're going to hear hill, and you're going to hear everything. Bye for now.